Hey, Rhonda, first one in. If Logan's there, happy birthday, Logan. Good morning, Stephanie. Get the laptop in here a little closer so I can see. You're like sick. You're six like Charlotte, huh? I thought Charlotte was like a year or two older. I guess it's inside that year mark, huh? Good morning, Janine. Okay, yeah, they're real close together. All right, I get it. Is that actually a term? Newfie twins? I've never heard that term before. It's okay. It's a Canadian term. Okay. I guess that explains why I've never heard it, huh? I guess I've never heard a Newfie joke either. Tell me a Newfie joke. I mean, is it safe for the internet here? I noticed you had a couple of maps on your back. Let's see if we can brush those out. I guess I've laughed at every person I've ever encountered that came from Newfoundland, so maybe there's some truth to that. I guess that means it's 11. Hey, Darth, how you doing, buddy? Can't complain. Can't complain. First day of the weekend. That's always a good thing, right? Say hi, bye. Don't turn your back on Darth. That's really rude. You know that? Yeah, you can at least stand that way. At least face him. Let's get all the old cat off of there first, huh? It was a difficult week for me at work, but it just every once in a while that's what happens. You just got to deal with it. That's why I make the big bucks, right? None of the machines wanted to work well, and it was one thing after another all day long. But we made it through it. I've never really hated a job I had. I hated some of the people I had to work with. I had my issues at Disney, of course, but I loved doing the job. It was a blast. If I could have made more money with it, I would have probably stayed there. But I am so glad I got out. Well, it differs every week because I'm 3 days one week and 4 days the next week. And so I'm Thursday, Friday, Saturday every week, and then every other Wednesday. And that's how they maintain 24-hour coverage. Well, I showed you what I got 2 weeks ago at the last live stream. Didn't get anything last week, but I think I'm going to probably go pick something up that they showed me a picture of and brought it down for me to look at. I've told you before when they're out, at their wholesalers picking up stuff, they're often looking at things and saying, "Oh yeah, Breck would love that," or this other customer would like that thing. And so they take pictures of them and bring it back and say, "Hey, you want to see this in real life? We can get it on consignment, and if you want it, fine. If not, then that's cool too." But they brought something really spectacular down that I want to look at, and I don't know if it's half as great as the picture. It'll probably come home with me. You'll see that next week, though. No, I just stumbled on him, Janine. I was I don't go into the guest bedroom that much, but it was my sister's birthday a couple weeks ago, and for her birthday, I found a really old photo, um, of my mom, my dad, my sister, and myself, and I scanned it really big and put it on her Facebook profile. And apparently, when I was in there, I put the glasses down and then hadn't been back in that room. And then a few days ago, I was doing that vlog about the clocks, and kind of giving you the story of all the clocks. And I wanted to get some pictures of some of the people I was talking about, and those pictures are all in that room in a old dresser drawer that I have. And I went in there, it's like, oh, there they are. Yeah, yeah, these are the infamous missing glasses. But it's fine. Now I got two pairs, so that's a good thing. I was even thinking before I found these that if I didn't find them, I was going to go back and get another set because it doesn't hurt to have two pairs. Because every once in a while you do misplace one. And it's nice to know that you get a set to fall back on. Or if I, actually do lose them or they're damaged to the point where I can't use them anymore, you know, uh, I got something to fall back on, something other than some of the ugly stuff that I have. I guess I don't have any of them in reach here, but I have a cheap set of readers that I bought like at CVS that, one of them, the frame is made out of plastic and this little piece here broke off. And so I got it all taped up. but it's nice to have actual prescription readers. Hey, Connie, how you doing? Well, I always say, John, it's always in the last place you look. But then I follow that up and I say, but of course, that's always going to be the case because once you find it, you stop looking. Yeah, I got some little catnip pellets, Charlotte, that I've given them. They're not really that into it. I've even ground it up into little pieces for them and not really that, not much into that, I guess. I know some cats, you do it like a drug. They get a little weirded out when they do it, when they, well, that's right. I forgot about the leg. Yeah, it's good to hear that it's hopefully coming along here. No, I've never tried chew sticks for the cats. Like I said, they're pretty content with what they got. They eat and they sleep and they poop and they get treats every once in a while, and they seem to be happy with that. Yeah, you have to deal with different personalities in the job, definitely. Got them really, really ripped, huh? Yeah, I heard about it. A friend of mine posted on Facebook. He thought that was the strongest earthquake he ever felt. I think he lives actually in Malibu, so he's right at the epicenter. 4.7 isn't that big. I mean, it's a moderate earthquake, but his friend said that it sloshed all the water out of their pool. I'm far more happy to read about it from 1,800 miles away than live it, because a 4.7 in Malibu, I would have felt that in Placentia. Well, yeah, they get the treats when they come out here during the live streams, and sometimes when I feel really generous. Hey, Spaniel Mom, just had an earthquake. Boo jumped under the bed. Yeah, it could also just mean that the faults are relieving pressure. I've been watching where the earthquakes have been happening, and they're kind of outliers on the main fault, but that doesn't mean anything because sometimes these little shifts on little subfaults can trigger big ones. So it could happen. I think they say that there's like a one chance in 20 that a moderate, small, moderate size earthquake like the one in Malibu can trigger a large one, or can be a quake to a larger one. It is so. I mean, it happens. And the truth is, California's been overdue for an earthquake for about 50 years now. We had that good one in San Francisco about what 30 years ago, Loma Loma Prieta. That was a decent sized earthquake. We had a couple of moderate ones when I was there. Northridge and Whittier Narrows. Well, they have problems with that every year. Houses sliding off the cliffs, especially after they had a fire, and then if they have a particularly wet winter, because then the hills just all come apart. It could be a big one, yeah. That's what they say is, because I mean, every earthquake, for the most part, has aftershocks. It's not necessarily as common like if like on the Big Island, Hawaii, for instance, where they have the volcano, they have earthquakes there, some of them pretty big, but they generally don't, it'll be one jolt and then that's it. It's sometimes there's aftershocks, but for the most part, earthquakes there, are just, it's a one-off event. But earthquake faults or earthquakes that happen on faults tend to have aftershocks, and sometimes the what might seem like a moderate jolt could just be a precursor to what's to come. Usually, it happens within 24 to 48 hours, though. So, and that one happened a few days ago. We can go look at that if you want. I like that I can do this all of a sudden, so I'm going to do it from time to time here. Okay, let's cut away to this. Okay, here we go. All right, so yeah, this is the Malibu area here, just to kind of give you a perspective. This is California and all of the earthquakes that have happened in the last 7 days. But this is what we're interested in here, right here in Los Angeles. I saw this one when this popped up on the map on the day it happened. Let's sort this here by largest first so we can see the good one. See, that was a 4.7, and that was that fault or that little earthquake right there. And that happened, what, on the 9th? So that's almost a week ago now. But yeah, just look at all the aftershocks that have happened on this thing. There's that main event right there. And yeah, they're still happening. And the yellow ones are the ones that have happened up to a week ago. The orange ones are the ones that have happened in the last 24 hours. So you can see there have been, 1, 2, 3, 4 orange ones in the last 24 hours. So yeah, that was, like I said, I'm glad I didn't live there because, that was where the earthquake was. This over here is about where I lived. So that was, probably 50, 30, 40 or 50 miles away. I would have felt that definitely. Like I said, I much prefer reading about them. Yeah, the picture I used on the thumbnail for the live stream is my great grandparents, the ones that owned the antique clock, and the kids with them. That's my mom and my uncle. In fact, I found that photo this morning in the archives and decided to use that for the live stream, and I actually saved the full size photo, which I'm going to send to my uncle because I think he'll enjoy having that because that's him in that picture. Yeah, rest in peace, James Earl Jones and Chad McQueen too. I wasn't really aware of him. I knew who his dad was, but I like James Earl Jones. He was great. That's still the greatest Superman movie of all of them. Yeah, I heard that about him being in Karate Kid. Yeah, he was one of the Cobra Kai's, wasn't he? She bought cheese whiz online. That's awesome. Yeah, what did you get for your birthday? I got some cheese whiz. Did you buy a jar? Did you buy a bucket? Wow. Hey, I guess if you got it, spend it, right? That's hilarious. I mean, I'm not one to talk. I'm probably going to go out and pay $600 for a rock today. So, 43 dollars for the cheese whiz. Had to change the password on Amazon. That's funny. All the joys of living in the 2020s. There's this beautiful, what do they call it? A golden healer crystal cluster. It's supposed to be something kind of on the order of those pieces there. It might, if I'm looking at it right from the picture, it might be it might be larger than any of the ones I have. I don't know. I'm going to go see it today. They also had a piece of amber last time that I kind of wish I'd picked up, and I saw they still had it a couple of days ago, so I might snag that too. I don't know. I tend to look around and see what they have, but I know specifically I'm going in to look for one for something specific today. They contacted me last week and told me that it was in. Yeah, don't use 1 2 3 4. That's a little obvious. Another really obvious one is don't use password as your password. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, this amber has bugs in it too. So wouldn't that be funny to have Amber Heard in amber? I'm ashamed of, well, not really ashamed, but a little embarrassed to admit I spent $1,100 last time I was there. But I got some really nice stuff too. Yeah, birth date's not a good password either. Charlotte likes Johnny Depp. He's a good actor. I liked him. I've liked him in a lot of the things he's been in. I mean, I remember him originally. The first time I ever saw him was in the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and then he was on 21 Jump Street, and then his career just took off from there. Especially after he hooked up with Tim Burton. Vita Perone dipped in plastic. Okay. They say that Walt Disney's brain is under the Matterhorn in cryogenic freeze. Well, I've got a couple pieces of amber that have stuff in it, but this was a big chunk and it had multiple bugs in it. But I like the rocks. I don't want to stop buying rocks. Well, I mean, I what I did when I got my first amber with bugs in it, I asked the people, that I got it from, how old it was, and they weren't really able to tell me. And I went and looked, did a little research on how long it takes a tree sap to turn into amber, and it can happen in as little as 40,000 years. So it's possible that the amber I have, maybe the bugs are only 40 or 50 or 100,000 years old, and that doesn't go back far enough to get to the dinosaurs. That could be woolly mammoth, though, definitely. Now, I asked them about kyber crystals. They said, "What's that?" I said, "It's a joke." Yeah, I mean, it's not like cars; they don't depreciate anything. It's just a lot of this stuff is, how nice of a specimen it is and what somebody's willing to pay for it. You know, uh, that's one of the things I like about this place is they got really good prices on things. Yeah, amber is really lightweight. It almost feels like plastic. They've joked with me. They tell me I'm the one that pay their electric bill, and I don't doubt that. That's probably true. Nothing going on in the cabinets. I don't know. I'm on break for that for a while. But one of the things that really amazes me about this place is every time I go in there, there's people in there. You think this. We're in Waco. You think a rock and mineral show on a Sunday afternoon, or a rock and mineral shop, in the middle of a Sunday afternoon. There just wouldn't be people in there. But every time I go in there, there's somebody there. They're doing good business, and apparently they got a lot of people that are repeat customers. Because there's times where I get in there first, and then people come in afterwards, and they're calling them by name and all that. So, yeah, I think they're doing pretty well. Posted a picture of Boo. Boo is the one that's gotten huge, right? Let's take a look here. Hang on. So that's Boo. Let's take a look at Boo here, chilling on the bed. Yeah, that's Boo. In case any of you wondered, he's turned into a monster. It looks like, just like most pets, they show you their butt. 12 weeks, man, that is big for. Because that looks like that's like the size of a German Shepherd, almost, isn't it? What kind of dog is it? 40 pounds. Geez, that's a big dog for 12 weeks. A golden doodle. Okay, so it should get to the size of like a Labrador Retriever then, huh? Maybe a little larger. A small horse. Yikes. And you knew that when you got him, right? Jeez. I like big dogs, but that might be a little too much. Haven't seen Flash in a couple days. She kind of, she's out and about generally in the early evening, like late afternoon, early evening, when it's starting to cool off a little bit, but still light out. Other than that, she tends to kind of lay low and to avoid the heat. And honestly, I don't see her much during my work week because I'm at work. And by the time I get home, it's usually dark and she's already gone to sleep for the night. But I usually see her during the weekend. I'll probably see her today sometime. Yeah, I know. That's one of the greatest things. She's on autopilot, pet. Yeah, and I never had to do anything with her in California. With the seasons or anything. I got to worry about her a little bit here because it can get really, really cold. But so sometimes I got to bring her in the house. Yeah, I like Flash too, Charlotte. Well, and the truth is, Darth, a lot of times she just sleeps in the yard. She'll just find a tree to go up next to, or find a section right next to the fence. Just some place that she can, cover up her head, and she'll just sleep in the yard. And during the summer, she can do that all she wants. Yeah, yeah. Even if the pool was up, the season would be over. Although it's still pretty warm out. The problem comes when the water temperature starts dropping. Oh, I'm sure Flash would look nice in it too. Oh, I missed Gene popping in here. I'm sorry. I was too busy talking, not spending enough time reading here. Yeah, I noticed it's getting darker earlier too. Yeah, we aren't to that point here. It's still we had a couple days last week where it dropped into the upper 80s. It was actually kind of nice to be outside, but we're going to be back in the 90s again. Although they are talking about the possibility of a little rain this afternoon. That would finally that would be nice. Let's see. What was I going to do here? I noticed I got like a text here. There's been this text stream that's been going through. Yeah, I don't see anything right now. I see the remnants of that hurricane that went ashore a couple days ago. It's just kind of withering out, but nothing yet, nothing imminent. I apologize, John, for any pain that you experienced. I understand that. Garden's pretty much over, I think, for the year. I might get a couple more tomatoes, but I think everything's done. I'm not going to really even go into Taylor Swift that much. I don't. I think in general, uh, actors and actresses should just keep their mouths shut. They don't live in the real world. No, I don't either. I've never heard anything she's done, and I don't get the world's obsession with her. Every time you know, she pops up at a football game or something like that. There's pictures of her. What is it? Who cares? Yeah, what was it that Rick Gervais said at the Golden Globes a couple of years ago when he was roasting the celebrities in the audience? Most of you have less education than Greta Thunberg. I actually do base my decisions on what celebrities think. If the celebrity says one thing, I go the other way. If you've never seen that skit, uh, you can go look it up. Rick Gervais at the Golden Globes. He just laid into the actors and actresses in the audience right to their face. It was really just hilarious. And I admire actors and actresses that don't. I don't want to know what their opinion is. I just want to like their work. And there's so many actors out there and actresses too that I really liked that I learned to hate because I couldn't stand who they were as people. I was a huge Whoopi Goldberg fan. I loved her when she was doing stand-up comedy. I liked her when she was, in the movie she was in. She was in Ghost. She was great in that. I liked her in The Player. She was great in that. I'm a Star Trek nerd, so I knew her as Guinan on Star Trek: The Next Generation. I loved her in that. I can't watch anything she's in now because I just she just revealed who she is, and now every time she's on The View, she's making a scene of herself. And De Niro's another one. I really like De Niro too, but I can't watch that guy anymore. And Tim Robbins is another one. He was also great in The Player. of course, Shawshank Redemption. And Gene, I think the celebrity world would be a lot better off if most of them acknowledged that. At least acknowledge that you don't live in the real world with the rest of us. Smart man. The thumbnail is a picture of my great grandparents. This is my mom's mom's mom and her husband, Swan and Edith Eklund, and their house. And the two kids are my mom and my uncle. Here, let me show you the full picture here. Hold on. Let's see, where did I put that? I got to really clean up my desktop. There's too much junk on here. I can't find what I'm looking for. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way here. That's the picture there. Let's open that. Okay. Now let's go into sharing mode here. Never tried doing this. Okay, I see how this works. That's interesting. Okay. I always, every time I've ever done a pull away, I've pulled away to a website. I've never actually pulled away to something else. And I guess what happens here is I can pull up to any file I have open. And so when I open up this full-size picture, it pops up as an option here. Okay, so that's the full picture. I cropped it a little bit to make it fit on the screen, but yeah, that's let's see if we can zoom in a little bit on that. That is my great grandfather, Swan Eklund, on the left, and my great grandmother, Edith Eklund, on the right. And that's my mom standing between them and her younger brother, Paul, in front. And now that I'm looking at it, looks like Paul wet himself. I don't know, maybe that's just a bad shadow or something, but looks like there may have been a little spillage there. Okay, anyway, there you go. I know I've never looked at the picture that close and blown it up like that. Because the picture, I mean, let me show you what the original picture looks like, because it's a tiny little photograph. I put it on the scanner and scanned it at maximum resolution. Because yeah, that's the picture right there. It's just a tiny little thing. Like I said, I got all that stuff, all these photos and stuff like that I got that, I mean, that's, that photo there is, got to be, my mom looks like she's about 6 at that point. And so, she was born in 40, so that was probably 1945, 1946. When my great grandparents were still alive, I think they died in the 60s or maybe 70s. Yeah, there aren't really a whole lot of pictures of my great grandfather where he's like facing the camera. He did that a bit. Let's see. Does it say on the back of the photo here? Let's see. Okay, it was at, so this was at my grandmother's house, which was my mom's mom and her husband. Uh, and that was in Bruno, Minnesota. I knew they were, I thought it was in Bruno because I'd heard that it was maybe Bruno, but I guess that's where it was. That was where my grandparents lived at that point. So obviously, great grandparents were visiting grandparents to visit grandchildren. And that's where that photo was taken. That's kind of cool. Yeah, my mom was gorgeous. Yeah, I think there was some farming going on probably there too. I don't know. Although maybe not because my grandfather wasn't a farmer; he was a miner. No, that was my dad's parents. My dad's parents were the opera singers. My mom's uh, my mom's dad was a miner. My dad's mom, or my mom's dad, or my mom's mom. Wow, listen to me, I can't talk today. My mom's mom was a teacher. Iron. He was in an iron mine. Yeah, Logan, you're right. My mom is well. Yeah, she is still beautiful. No, no. Oh, may God, no, I don't know. My grandfather was not an educated man. I don't think he even finished junior high. I think he dropped out like in the fourth grade or something like that. But he was wise, and I don't know if that had anything to do with that. You know, it, I think my geology gene comes from the fact that I've become such a fan of science, and geology is something that I've always really kind of liked pretty rocks. I mean, some of the pretty rocks that I have, I've had for years or decades in cases. I'm sure Nana appreciates you that she kisses you back. I know she liked having pictures of you. Yeah, I did a vlog or two on Sutter Mill when I was in California a few years ago. That was where the gold rush started there. Well, maybe she is talking to her. Well, and it makes sense that gold would be in California and Alaska because gold is generally, you know, it comes to Earth in flakes because it's pieces of dead stars and stuff like that. But it takes the heat that occurs like at earthquake junctions. or fault junctions there to create the heat to melt it into the nuggets that we find. And so California and Alaska are both seismically active. And I guess Arizona is close enough to California and the fault that it could be some action there too. Because you got to remember, the fault just isn't a straight line or even a crooked line. There's a bunch of little subfaults that go off on either side of it, and even run parallel to it. There's little minor faults that come off the main fault or run parallel to it. She said she found a diamond, huh? Might actually be a piece of quartz. That's probably more common. I'll show you a cool piece of quartz I got. Okay, let's see. Well, I was thinking that too, Rhonda. It might be broken glass. But yeah, that's a piece of quartz. Look at that. That's pretty. Remember, I told you I had rocks that I've had for years and years and years. This is probably the first piece of quartz I ever owned. It's it's still pretty. I like how clear it is. You can literally see right through it. It isn't all like that. Sometimes it can look like that too, but that's another old piece I've had for many years. Yes, it's a corpse, Garth. It's a corpse crystal. Yeah, that sounds. I got for a gag gift one year. I got a crystal growing kit. I've never actually used it. I should probably. It'd be kind of fun to see what happens if you did it. Yeah, but corpse crystal is still much better. Yeah, I do remember that. I did something at one point. I got something like that and did it. And you're right. It was very fragile. It's one of those things that once it's done, you have to put it somewhere and leave it there. Probably not the best thing in the world for 6-year-olds to have because it's just not going to last long. But it's fun to do anyway. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I could have some say in what in what ads were put up here. Because honestly, I would just say no political ads either way. Yeah, then we'll get about 6 months of break before it starts up for the next election season. Yeah, I did hear about that. Now they're saying that's going to have significant impact on the ecology inside the cave. That's sad. The people. I mean, I wouldn't. You just don't do stuff like that. And what parent lets their kid, you know, bring a Cheeto bag in there and then leave the bag in there? You know what's going to happen too. They're going to ban food going down there. Oh yeah, there's a famous picture of Elvis and Nixon together. In fact, Elvis, my understanding is Elvis brought a pistol with him to the White House with the intention of giving it to the president. I guess they let him actually walk in there with it. Yeah, you're probably right, Yvonne. They probably should. In fact, it may be one of those things where the parents smuggled it down. Because I mean, I was just there a few months ago. They don't do strip searches. They don't do search through your backpack. So I would guess it was probably not something that was bought there, uh, but instead something that somebody brought down with them, and then the kid just threw it away. I don't, like I said, that may have been the policy when I was there. I just, it didn't affect me because I didn't intend to bring any food down there. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they even know how old the kid was. In fact, it might not even have been a kid. That's possible. I mean, it's hard to believe the Secret Service would let anybody into the Oval Office to meet the president when they're carrying a weapon without checking him. I mean, that's almost as bad as letting a presidential candidate get almost a shot during a stump speech. But oh, wait, that did happen. I've heard the term soapstone. I think it's just a soft stone that kind of has the feeling of soap. Probably something that's very soft, like in the talc range or something like that. Yeah, I know. With all the cameras in there, they know whose Coke it was. Might have even been hunters. I don't know what's for dinner. I haven't figured that out yet. I went and got a few things at the store last weekend, so I got some meat in the freezer. So we'll find something out. I've been eating more fish lately, um, and so always like to find big fillets like salmon because I'll get like a 30-inch fillet of salmon, cut it up into like five pieces, and that'll be five meals. But I've also been doing rainbow trout lately, and I like that too. Yeah, I like spaghetti and meat sauce. Tacos and burgers are good. Pork chops are an old go-to. I made a big batch of spaghetti sauce. Well, I didn't really make it. What I do is I get certain kinds of spaghetti sauce that I like, and I'll take like 2 jars of it, throw it in there, throw in a bunch of ground beef and other good stuff, and then just put it in a big jar, and I can just take pour a little of it when I need it, and I'm good to go. I like spaghetti. Brats are good too. I got some of those in the freezer also. Good with like a good spicy brown mustard. Mm-mm. Yummy, yummy. Yeah, oh, definitely on the barbecue. I haven't ever bought and cooked my own cod, but I've had cod in the in like restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty hard to go wrong with Italian food. Never been to Culver's, so I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Pizza, yeah, there you go. Ding, 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 ding. Number one answer. Good calzone. Okay, okay. I guess that's why I've never experienced it. I don't think there's one here. I don't know. I don't know if this is considered Midwest. You like fried prawns? Would a radio personality turned you against it? Huh. No, it's pretty hard to go wrong with pizza. You're right. I've heard of Culver City. I've been to Culver City. Probably not been to it, but probably drove through it. Yeah, I don't know if we. Yeah, that's probably true. It's probably. I don't know. We might even be straddling southeast instead of the southwest. We're kind of right on the line. I think southwest. I think California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico. I guess I don't usually think Texas. Baked calzone, definitely. I don't think I've ever had one deep fried. Well, yeah, the prawns are technically there's sea cockroaches, but so is lobster if you think about it. And I love lobster. I don't have lobster very much, but you know, it's good. Exactly. They're bottom feeders. That's why they compare them to cockroaches, because that's basically what cockroaches are. They just eat whatever's left. Hello, bite. Yeah, I've had lobster. I love lobster. Never said it's a. I've never heard anyone say it's a good thing I'm allergic to that. It is, yeah, it is a little pricey. There was this great seafood place uh, near where I lived in California called Taps. It was in Brea. Uh, that we went to a lot for like birthdays and stuff like that because I really liked it. It was really close to me. My parents loved it. They had good food. Had good beer. I liked the fact that they brewed a lot of their beer right there on site. They had their own tap room and brew house right there. And so I like doing that, trying different brews. And so we'd go there, and I had lobster a lot. It was nice that it was so close to me because instead of when my parents would come, we could just say, "Hey, let's go to Taps." Nibble's fine. She's just a little bit more introverted than our friend Bite here. Yeah, crab legs are good too. Yeah, you're right, Yvonne. That's kind of how they decide with some of that stuff. Depends on what they can get when they can get it, and how much they have to pay for it. That's cool. There's a lot of things I'm sure that I like that not everybody's into. How many people like sushi? I love sushi. No sushi fans here. What about oysters? Do people like oysters? I like them under certain situations, but not like raw oysters on the half shell. I tried that once. I almost gagged. Felt like I was swallowing a big glob of snot. If you want to try something simple to see if you could get into sushi, Gene, try something they call California rolls. It isn't really that. It's usually like a raw crab meat or something like that, but it's with other things, and it's a good kind of stepping off point. See if you like it. Then you can try some more adventuresome stuff. Personally, I'm into ahi. It doesn't get any better than that. I like oyster stew and oyster, soup and stuff like that. Clam chowder. Yeah, yeah. Ahi is raw tuna, right? Newfie steak, huh? Okay. Don't get me wrong, I love steak too. I've had fried bologna a couple times. It's like, okay, yeah. So it's gonna be the Newfie jokes today here. Never heard of mud bug soup. I've had crawfish. I haven't really done. It's funny. I haven't really done that here in Texas. You'd think that you know there'd probably be an opportunity to do that at some point. I actually, my boss at one of the companies I worked at in California a long time ago invited me over to his house one night because they got a whole bunch of crawfish. Just put them right there in the middle of the table. And we just pigged out on them. So they're just emptying the toilet bowls in Holland, huh? Yeah, I wouldn't do horse meat. I don't know why there's a difference between a horse and a cow, but yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, Yvonne. Gonna be eating dogs, cats, and all the wild birds at the park. Oh yeah, I've had buffalo meat. That's good. Yeah, I know. Everyone knows price fixing has worked everywhere where it's ever happened. What opposed as opposed to the Weimar Republic? I've had alligator. Yeah, I had it like deep fried though. I haven't had it really finely prepared. It was one of those things that when I went to the state fair a couple of years ago in downtown Waco, um, or probably guess it was a county fair in Waco. There were a bunch of like food trucks on the property, and one of them was selling gator. And you'll recall if you go back and watch that I actually did order it because I wanted to see what it was. Love bison burgers. I've thought about having snake, but the opportunity has never popped up. I would try it just to say I've done it. There's a new Coke. Ew, that kind of sounds gross, Rhonda. Yeah, I know. Didn't they learn from the last time? See, it's probably not something that would even cross my radar because I don't drink caffeine anymore. So, and I don't keep any kind of sodas in the house. I'll enjoy a Sprite with lunch at work, or if I'm going out and don't want to have alcohol, I'll have Sprite. But I used to drink a lot of like Coke and Pepsi, and I get to the point now where I'll have one every once in a while. It's like I don't even like this anymore. but I've been completely caffeine free now for gotta be 6 or 7 years now. I don't miss it. See, when I was drinking, sodas like that, I like Pepsi over Coke. I liked it was sweeter. But like I said, I don't drink either of them anymore. And even though I like Pepsi better, I still am not a fan of Pepsi these days. I was looking at one of those Soda Stream machines. Oh, okay, I did see something move out there. A squirrel in the front yard. Yeah, me too, Gene. Sprite is my go-to if I'm gonna have a soda. Yeah, I never really was a Mountain Dew fan. A little too heavy for me. Yeah, Seven Up, Sprite, Sierra Mist from Pepsi is good. Yeah, I was trying to think why you wouldn't be able to carbonate juices and stuff like that. What would be the difference? Maybe they don't want you experimenting on your own and realizing you don't need them get to get your flavors from. I've never heard of that. Yeah, see, carbonated Gatorade sounds interesting. I'm drinking water right now. Makes you gag, huh? Oh well. Yeah, especially when it's cold. There's nothing better than a nice cold glass of water. Never really became an iced tea fan. I've had iced tea, just not a huge fan. Not a teetotaler. No teas, no coffees. Hmm, interesting. See, that's what I do with my soda stream. Soda stream, I'd carbonate apple or orange or grapefruit juice. I keep grapefruit juice in the house all the time. I've been doing like apple juice lately too. Look who's back. Wants a little attention. I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, I've never really studied the whole carbonation process, but all right, we're going to get an instantaneous results here. That's a good idea. Can you carbonate vodka? Yeah, margaritas. There we go. Let's get a carbonated margarita. I think Bite wants a treat here. That's what it's about, right? You came up here for the kitty treats. Oops, drop that one. You have to get that one yourself. No, no coffee in the house. Somebody comes to my house and needs coffee. There's Starbucks and several other things around here, but that they can do. And honestly, the last person that visited me that was into coffee was Jordan, and Jordan seems to be really into Dunkin' Donuts coffee, or at least he was. All right, there you go. There. So what specifically did you make, Rhonda? You used a juice, right? Nice fizz. Apple. Okay, so you carbonated apple juice, huh? Interesting. See, I would maybe consider that because I love apple juice. I love grapefruit juice. Carbonate a screwdriver. Yeah, grape juice is good too. Yeah, that was when he had the coffee maker. Yeah, I don't know, you know, but when he travels or something, he likes the coffee and from Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know. Maybe he's into different things now. Okay, Rhonda put a picture in the Facebook here. Let's take a look at this. Probably got to refresh the screen here. Okay, yeah. It looks like beer. Okay, here, this is a picture of Rhonda's carbonated apple juice here. Like I said, it looks like beer. Are you fooling us, Rhonda? Is this really beer? No, it's not beer. It's carbonated apple juice. Don't tell anyone. Oh yeah, yeah. I always have grapefruit juice in the house. I'm so lucky that HEB sells it because I haven't been able to find it anywhere else. Nobody else has grapefruit juice that isn't that pink sweetened stuff. Yeah, I mean, I might consider if I could carbonate other things, I might consider getting one too. Yeah, no, it's too sweet for me, Yvonne. Okay, Rhonda, I think she showed the brand of the. Let's see here if I'm interpreting that correctly here. Oh, okay, she showed the brand of the apple juice. Okay, now I understand. Yeah, that's the brand of apple juice she used. But we know it's really just beer. Oops, should have pushed that button first. Is Gene checking out here? Oh, it's that time again. Orange juice is good, but I like the bitter flavor of grapefruit juice. There we go. That's what we got to do. Fresh ground coffee is carbonated. That sounds like that might be a little gross. Never been a coffee drinker. In fact, I would bet that if I really ever had good coffee, I'd probably like it. But since I don't get the benefit from the caffeine, and my experience has been really ho hum so far on coffee in my life, I just yeah. Yeah, my mom used to get real grapefruits too. I think that's where I developed my love of the taste. See, that's why I like the unsweetened grapefruit juice, not the pink stuff, because the unsweetened one tastes like the grapefruits I'd eat as a kid. See, those are all things I'd love to have growing in my yard. Orange, lemon, grapefruit, apple, peach. Wow, we're already an hour and a half into this. This one's flying by. Yeah, we had a grapefruit knife too. I don't know whatever came of it. Pineapple tree, huh? That sounds good. I love pineapples too. Do you get a good harvest, or is this another one that you started growing? So it's the actual soda stream. Okay, no fruit yet. Okay, looks like it works pretty quick too, Rhonda. Did we ever get an answer on how much the CO2 canister costs and how often you have to replace that? I know somebody asked that. $20 a replacement and they last about a month. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, yeah, so they can reuse the cans again. Okay, the machine's about $100. Hmm. Yeah, I've seen them. They have them at HEB too in the appliance aisle. Well, not appliance, but like a dishware's aisle. Or they, I'm sure they're on Amazon too. Might be worth a look. Yeah, I do that with the same with propane tanks. I got the one that's on the grill and then one backup in case I need it. When the one on the grill is empty, I'll put the backup on and I'll get another one for the backup. That's just good planning. Yeah, I've seen grapefruit on the shelf. I haven't really ever purchased any, but I could do that. If it ever gets to the point where they don't do grapefruit juice anymore in the store, I might have to squeeze my own. Yeah, I don't have a juicer. Jordan had one. I don't know if he still does. He was juicing for a while. I think that was his weight loss regimen. Can't live without your air fryer. Yeah, don't have one of those yet. My problem is I don't know where I could put all this stuff when I'm not using it. Gonna have to build a rack to hold all my kitchen gadgets. Yeah, my microwave gets used quite a bit. Food processors sometimes. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to have a bunch of stuff all over the counters though. I have decent counter space in my kitchen, but I don't want to just fill it up with stuff. My kitchen's a little too narrow to have an island, unfortunately. It hasn't dried up. I'm going to do it at some point, Darth. I'm just, just every time I try it, it doesn't work out, and then it kind of, takes the excitement out of it. It'll happen at some point because I still can't stand the cabinets in here. Yikes! Yeah, that's crazy. My mom had a similar situation in her kitchen in California. So at one point, I actually built her a rolling table that was like, it was basically the same concept as the table that I have on the wall behind me there, but it was on wheels, so she could roll it around, and it effectively tripled her counter space. And so, she'd keep it in the dining room, and then when she needed to, she could pull it into the kitchen and have the extra space. And when she moved out, she gave it to Beth, and I guess Beth sold it to one of her friends. That's a good thought, yeah, Gene. I didn't think about that. Maybe or maybe just there's so many artisans in that area. Maybe get someone to just do the whole thing from scratch. You have three refrigerators and no kitchen table. Yeah, something like that, Darth. That makes things complicated too if the roof was sloping. I don't have to deal with any of that. Thanks for stopping in, Connie. Good talking to you. I mean, I know some of the woodworkers out at Homestead Heritage do like furniture and stuff like that. We saw a lot of that when I went out there a couple weeks ago. It's also really pricey, but that's what you have to do when you get it done right. Yeah, I'm in no position to complain or criticize people who collect too much. I'm just not. I mean, at least you're getting kitchen appliances. I'm buying rocks. Of course, it is a little crazy with the Barbies. I will say that. I'm in the same position, Gene. I think the next project is probably going to be what we do with the pool area. I don't really have anything planned inside, but who knows? I mean, let's face it. The project of this rock mineral stand started from one of my viewers who said, you know, when I built that rock and mineral stand, they said, you know, you filled it up immediately here. What you ought to do is you ought to take that desk that you just store junk on and turn it into another rock and mineral thing. I thought that's actually a really good idea, and here we are. So I don't know. You got to make suggestions. What do I got to do? Well, that's why I like the fact that I can do so much in my own house. Then I don't have to pay that much money having the repairs done. My grandmother was sort of like that too. She had so much yarn and wool in the house, and when she died, actually, I don't even sure exactly what the connection was, but my grandfather on my mom's side was one of 12 kids, and one of his brothers had a wife um, who took all that yarn at the end of, when my grandmother passed away and knitted each of us four grandkids blankets. So, yeah, I have mine. Let me show you that one. And I guess we each got one. I love the one I got. Oops. And then I just kicked my laptop. I'll show you how much I love my blanket by kicking my laptop. And that's just bad form. Yeah, check that out. That was the one I got from my grandmother's stuff. I don't know what's going to go on. We're going into a maintenance interval pretty soon here. And so I'm going to get some time off of work for that. I don't know. I think we're being spammed here a little bit. Wait, hold on. That was not intended here. Hold on. The thing moved at the last second. There we go. Accidentally blocked Yvonne there. Yeah, I did. Well, I don't blame myself this time. The thing moved right before I did it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I unblocked you pretty quick, but yeah, I'm glad you're still with us here. Accidentally hit you instead of the troll, and I'm doing it with a mouse and a keyboard here. So I can imagine you're on a phone. It's, if you're all thumbs, it's going to be very easy to make that happening. No, but I think Rhonda's on her phone, and Rhonda has moderator privileges, so she can block people. That's why she's got that little. Why her name is in blue, and she has a little monkey wrench next to her icon. That's because she's a moderator. There were two of them, but only one of them. One of them just was there only for a couple posts. And who knows? Maybe it might be the same person. It was the same kind of posts. Let's go see Rhonda's blanket picture here. That is pretty similar to what I have, isn't it? Colors are a little different, and the pattern's a little different, but it's kind of that zigzag thing going on here. Yeah, that's what she posted. Very similar, isn't it? Like I said, the pattern, the weaving pattern is different, but definitely this the zigzag thing is very similar to what I have. Wonder why they do it. Probably the same reason people stand behind newscasters and wave at the audience. They're sad, pathetic little trolls that have nothing going on in their life except to go and bother other people. Yeah, this one isn't old. I've only had it for probably about 20 years, but it gets a lot of good use. When I'm taking a nap, sometimes I tell you after the end of a live stream, I'm tired and I go take a nap on the lazy boy. Yeah, that's my blanket. Exactly. How dare they crash our party? How dare they make me block Yvonne? So you make a little money on the side too. That's cool. Can't argue with that. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard much about that either. If we're thinking the same troll, he came after me a little bit too. I don't think I was big enough to warrant enough of his attention, but I remember him coming on here during the live streams at one point too. When he started harassing me on Facebook, I went after him though. I figured out who he is. I know where he lives. I know where he works. I know what he looks like. I know what his kids look like. You know, he isn't very good at being a troll because part of being a troll is remaining anonymous, and he didn't do a very good job of that. First thing, if you're going to be a troll, you got to make up fake profiles. If you're going to harass somebody on Facebook, you don't use your real profile because it's very easy to trace a person back. I think we were dealing with somebody named Anthony. I'm not going to go in too much into detail, but I know Jordan and Adam and Jacob and a few others were targeted by him because I know Jordan and I talked about him a number of times. That's a little creepy, Gene. Well, it's okay. I got Darth Saber and Elvis chasing me. No, they aren't really that cunning. They think they are. They think they're being cool by wasting a bunch of time creating a bunch of fake YouTube profiles so they can harass people over and over again. No, some of them are, but a lot of the internet trolls are they're just losers, like you said. It's like somebody said in their mother's basement. Yeah, that's bad when that happens. Most of them aren't smart enough to do something like that, though. They just pop up here and start putting a bunch of stupid comments on people's live streams. Yeah, that's a little creepy too, Gene. I'm not saying a lot of these people shouldn't be but shouldn't be seeing a psychiatrist, but it sounds like he was committed. Yeah, I probably should too, Rhonda. Yep, the weirdos out there can be really weird. Yeah, it's probably time to pull the plug on this one. I've gotten to the point lately where I've been starting the live streams a little bit early, so we get the sound of the clocks at the beginning, and then we get to the sound of the clocks at the end, and that's usually the sign that it's time to end. But all right, so we're gonna get to see Jessica next week. All right, all right. Well, it doesn't get much better than that. So um, I don't know. The screen says that some of you are going to see an ad in about 18 seconds. So I'm going to get that extra ad revenue in here, and then we'll pull the plug on this one. If you don't want to see the ad, you can probably just stop now. I'm sure whatever they're advertising will be incredibly enthralling. Let me know. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that ad. I'm going to pull the plug on this one. We'll pick this up again next week. I had a good time today. Thanks, everyone. Good night.